Hey, my name's John Foster, and this channel is to try and help people. I'm going to start with my story for you so you understand where I'm coming from. Um, as a kid, I grew up, my dad lived in New Brunswick and my mom lived in Ontario. I don't remember too much about my parents being together. What I do remember is not feeling um, good enough, I guess. Um, and That's because I never see my dad too often. Um, but anyway, as a teenager, I started doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing, hanging out with the wrong crowd, um, and I really got into started with marijuana. Um, I got into some harder drugs as I got a little bit older, uh, and when I was 21, I got married. Our relationship was really, really toxic. Uh, I don't know uh, what that had. Like, I blamed her for everything, even though I did a lot of things to her that was bad. I wasn't very nice to her. I didn't treat her right. I was never home. Cheated on her a lot. As I said, I was using. Um, Eventually, it took its toll on our relationship, and we broke up. I moved back to Peterborough. I was like 26, and I got into drugs even harder. Um, Ecstasy, crystal meth, all the above. Uh, um, I ended up getting with with my fiance Melissa, and uh, we were really, really, really codependent on each other right from the start. We were selling opiates, benzos, crystal, whatever we could get our hands on to sell, patches, everything. It was hard for me to understand that I had a problem because we always had a place to live. We always had food in the fridge. We always had money. Um, so I didn't realize I had that big of a problem. I thought nobody even knew. But one person who did know for sure was my mom because she quit talking to me. She couldn't watch me kill myself. Um, so about 3 years into the relationship, Melissa said that she was pregnant. And now I didn't want to have any more kids because I already have quite a few. Um, but I was ecstatic. I was so happy to know that there was going to be another baby in the house. So we slowed down on the drugs. We started taking methadone a lot more because we figured that's the safe way to get it, to do it. But I'll tell you, the methadone is probably one of the worst drugs I've ever been on. Um, I went back and forth between methadone and pills, using them both at the same time, and crystal meth to stay awake, pills to go to sleep. It was just a vicious cycle. It just was a very vicious cycle. So uh, Melissa was pregnant for about 6.5 months, and we lost the baby. Yeah. After that, things went downhill fast. We we uh, we started selling more drugs, quit working, started selling more drugs, staying home, doing more drugs, selling more drugs. And on the outside looking in, a lot of people think, oh, he's a drug dealer. Oh, look at him. Oh, yay. But it's not what you think. I spent a lot of hours that I didn't want to spend dealing drugs. Times when I wanted to go to bed, I couldn't because people were coming over to buy drugs. Um, I just end up using more and more, right? And it was just really bad. It got really, really bad. And then um, July 31st, 2017, Melissa got really sick, and she took her methadone with some pills and some Xanax and slept for the day. And around dinner time, she was awake. I asked her what she wanted to do. She said she had to go to the bathroom. So I took her to the bathroom, and After that, she wanted to go to bed, so I took her into the bedroom, laid her down in the bed, gave her a kiss, told her I love her, and said I was going to go to the drugstore and get some medicine for her. That was the last thing I ever said to her. When I came home, her lips were blue. She wasn't breathing. I immediately called 911 and started CPR, but it was too late. It was too late. There's nothing I could do. She died from using my drugs. And that's something I'm going to have to live for the rest of my life. The week going into the funeral, I didn't eat, I didn't sleep, I didn't drink, but I didn't use either. But I did go a little bit insane. And my daughters picked me up and took me to the hospital. And I wasn't going to stay because like a week before that, I was just in the exact same room with Melissa when they pronounced her dead. And I went outside to have a cigarette and said, I'm not staying. My daughter, Kelsey, she looked at me and she said, Dad, you have to stay. You have to stay. And she started crying. So I stayed. I went to the psych ward for the night. They put me to sleep on something else besides Xanax because I told them I was addicted to Xanax and opiates and methadone, and I said it was probably easier for them to take a blood test to see what was in my system still. So they did, and they didn't give me any more of those. They gave me something else. I can't remember what it was called, but it put me to sleep and it gave me a hunger. It made me hungry. So when I woke up in the morning, I ate like a champ. They went out to McDonald's for me and got me 2 meals before breakfast was served because they wanted to let me out of the psych ward because they realized I wasn't crazy. I was just going through some stuff, right? But they said I had to have a plan. So I called my mom. And like I said, I hadn't talked to my mom. She quit talking to me 3.5 years prior to this. When I called my mom, instantly, she dropped everything and sent my stepdad down to get me. Took me back home up to my mom's in Bancroft. And what I didn't know is she called my sister. And my sister called my dad in New Brunswick. And he dropped everything too. Him and his wife, my stepmom, came down here to pick me up. Told me they knew a good place to take me. So I ended up going with my dad to New Brunswick. And he got me into the Village of Hope. There, it was not an easy program, but that's what did it. That's what saved my life. It was a regeneration program. They work on things that happened to you in your past to help you get through it so that you don't turn to drugs anymore. You don't need them anymore. And they give you hope, like huge hope. They just love everybody. It's amazing the love that's there. So, anyway, I hope to be able to tell you more of my story and a few tips along the way to help if it can help. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and press the like button.